I don't even think I had any awareness of how far behind I was.
Hello, business owners. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we have Patti Calkins with us. Patti was on the podcast maybe about a year ago, I'm going to say, and I invited her back because we have a very big update, a very big milestone that Patti just hit. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about what's next for her, how she got here, all of this stuff. But before we do any of that, Patti, introduce yourself. Tell us what you do, who you are, where you are, everything.
I'm Patti Calkins. I am a small business owner. I own a massage business that specializes in myofascial release. We in Richmond, Virginia, we help people who want to feel better, want to move and groove and do all the things that they have plans to do. Sometimes they come with lots of pain, and sometimes they're just coming because they want to kind of keep things at a maintenance level so they can be their very best.
Amazing. How long have you owned your small business?
4.5 years.
Okay. So pandemic, you're a pandemic business.
Yeah, kind of. It was a sort of a plan for a number of years, but I'm sure the pandemic played a role.
And before that, were you working for somebody else?
Yeah, I'm a physical therapist assistant. So I worked in physical therapy for it's almost been 20 years. I worked for a large hospital system. Most of my career, I've worked for different hospital systems. But never quite satisfied. I always could think of things that I could do better, and I had to move to the next job because I was not satisfied in the job. So I think this was coming. It was brewing. I just had to be ready for it.
That's so good. Yeah. I feel like entrepreneurs are very similar. Like we're a little bit chronically dissatisfied. And I think that's part of our drive. Like I could make this system better, or I could make more money, or I could do we're always pushing.
Yeah. I don't think I understood that. I just thought I need to find better manager. I need to find a better manager. They just don't really see how they could do this in a better way. And they don't really listen to anybody who works for them. So I just needed to be the manager.
Yes. Yeah. That's so good. All right. Well, when we started working together, did you join Money School first and then Seven Figure Wealth?
I did. I joined, but before that, I met you on a couple of guest host coaching sessions that you did with Heather Hommel, the MFR coach.
Yeah.
Maybe I think she has a different title now, but yes,
I think she changed it as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it was in March of 24 where you were the only coach there, and you were coaching me through some really, really tough stuff. And I thought, I need to be working with Gina.
That's so good. So we worked on your business stuff, and then you joined Seven Figure Wealth. We were just looking it up before in May 2024. So it's been about just exactly 2 years.
Yeah.
And the reason I wanted to invite you is because you just hit a big portfolio milestone. Do you want to share, or should I do a big review?
I mean, I can, you can, we can do it together.
You go for it.
Together, my husband and I crossed over $1 million in our retirement savings.
So
Yay!
Exciting. And tell the audience how old you are, because I feel like that matters in terms of retirement stuff.
Yeah, I just turned 59.
Happy birthday. Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
So, okay, $1 million, 5 years before a traditional 65 retirement. You know me, I'm nosy, and I want to know, because it matters for the math. Are you guys planning on retiring? Do you want to stop working? Do you want to retire at 65? Do you have any clue? Do you want to keep growing the portfolio? What's the plan?
I think I would like to, I have sort of a different maybe viewpoint than some people, maybe not, but I lost my mom when she was 65. And so I think I don't want to, life is short. You don't know how long it's going to be. I don't want to be working for the rest of my life, although I really love my business. So there is a part of me that can imagine maybe working a day a week, maybe not completely letting go. I kind of can't quite see that far out. I see myself sort of shrinking things over time, like getting down to a 3-day work week, because I work 4 days right now, 4 6-hour days, not to mention the work that I do at home. But, there's always some admin time. But
yeah,
my husband would retire immediately. He would like my business to grow sufficiently so he could just walk away. He's a data analyst, and I don't think it really stokes the fire anymore. He'd like to be outside gardening. And, fortunately my business has allowed us to do some of the things really sort of in this prep mode where we're traveling the way we want to and, spending time with family the way we want to. And that's the lovely part about being a business owner. If you have set yourself up well, you can do those things.
Yeah, 100%. Your business can give you so much freedom, but so much of what I like to talk about, and I want every single client to experience, is you did the hard work to become financially free from a job. And now we want you to be financially free from your business as well.
Right. Right.
That's the next step. And it's, wherever you are in that journey, if you're listening, like it's all part of the journey. It's not to say that anyone is bad, but, or rather like any part of that journey is bad, but it is something that I want everyone to go on because to your point, I lost my dad when he was 63. Like life is not guaranteed. A retirement is not, he only had 3 years of his retirement and he retired early because he could financially do so. But it's tomorrow's not guaranteed. And, they say health is wealth. I really, truly believe that. So, it's like, yeah, I always say how you spend your money is how you spend your life, and really thinking about, okay, well, how do I want to spend my life in this phase that I'm in, whatever phase that is for you. So it's so good that you guys know what you want to work towards, and you just hit this really, really big milestone. And we were even saying like in the last month, it's grown by itself too.
Right. When you are it also goes the other way too. And I've had that conversation with Annie, your coach. She said to me, in one of the months, not too far back, I was like, ugh, that was a big hit. And she said, you're wealthy now. When you're wealthy, you have something to lose. And I don't know that my brain is completely there. That's just not, I feel it sometimes, but I don't feel it. I recognize that I have, means that allow me to do things that other people, and things that I haven't been able to do. I didn't travel. I didn't do lots of things for many, many, many years because I was a single person living on a small income and supporting 2 kids. So I love watching, but not too closely, watching how that grows, for sure.
In the market.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting to me, and especially like looking, across, what's happening in the world and thinking, oh, that's gonna be a painful thing. And it hasn't been. So, but then it has, then there were a couple of months where it did kind of, change. So it's interesting to me for sure. But it's growing on its all by its little self.
I know. Isn't that so fun? To your point though, like it can grow all on its own and it can shrink all on its own too. Once you're at the 7-figure level, it's not common, but it's not unheard of to lose 6 figures in value in a month and then gain it back. Like it can be a roller coaster in that sense of like, because if you think about it, and if the listeners are like, what the hell are you guys talking about? When you're invested in the stock market, your money is invested in companies. And just like your company and my company, we have good months and bad months. Well, the stock market has good months and bad months. And so your money could double or your money could go down, and it could go up and down, and it does. And it's just part of kind of the game, is learning how to regulate your nervous system so you're not reactive to the bad months, because you'll know the good months are on the other side as well.
Yeah, yeah, and you do a very good job. You and Annie, the other coach that I've worked with, do a really good job at helping people set up a portfolio that's gonna weather storms better. So that's something I've worked on because at some point, because I was on my own as a single person, I was and I don't think I had any awareness. I was so far behind on my retirement that, and of course I didn't know what I was doing either. There's that too. But I mean, I was 100% invested in stock. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't have weathered any kind of storms very well. I was just trying to grow it as fast as I could.
So to this point, I mean, you were a single parent. You've since gotten married. Your kids are out of the house, right? I'm assuming. You're,
Yes.
you're
Yes.
empty nester.
I have a grandchild and another one on the way.
Oh, so congratulations. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
I want to hear from you. Like, okay, Patti, I am a business owner listening to this podcast and I'm where you were, single parent, maybe like lower income, or maybe I have a business, or how do I look forward and even have any kind of hope or belief that I'll be okay financially by the time I'm hitting, the end of my working years? Because, a lot of people who are in that kind of situation, maybe they're in their 30s or 40s and they don't have a lot to show for, the last 10 or 20 years of work, and they're scared. And I've been talking to a lot of those people, like they're just scared. They're like, I don't know how I'm going to ever afford to stop working. And I've been saying, like, at least within my clients, I'm like, once you learn this stuff, you can't unsee it. But before you learn it, it seems impossible. So what do you say to that person?
Well, I don't even think I had any awareness of how far behind I was. It's only now that I look at the number or maybe in the last couple of years, realize that $120,000 wasn't going to get me retired anytime. So maybe they're in the same position. They're doing their best. They're trying, I was trying to match the businesses I worked for, the hospitals I worked for. I was trying to match their contribution. That was kind of the best I was trying to max out as much as I could, but it still wasn't growing that much. So I wish, what I would say is, like, I didn't have any awareness of how I was spending my money. That's something I've learned over the 2 years of working with you is really looking at my expenses, not treating myself all the time. That was I was like, I deserve this. Well, I was going to do it with a credit card because I didn't have enough cash to do it. And I had so much credit card debt when I started. Well, just a few years ago, I had so much credit card debt. So I think that these things are achievable if you have some good education about how you're really spending your money, like really willing to look at how you're spending your money and have the awareness that everything you do affects what you're doing down the road. Having a resource like you and your program, even just like Small Business Money School, I mean, that's just that's the basics. I think about that all the time. It made so much difference for me, for sure. But I think it's achievable. Clearly it is, because if we just look at my part of the retirement, I've doubled that in 2 years. And that some of that was growth. Yes, absolutely. And following your advice.
That's kind of the point,
Right.
is that it's not all your money, that it's
Right.
being effectively invested.
Right. Exactly. But even then, like, if I hadn't learned that I needed to diversify more, if I had, like, I would have been freaking out over big dips if I was paying attention. I don't even know that I was paying attention, because honestly, I had like 6 or 7 retirement accounts from all the different jobs that I had. So, I mean, that's the other thing, is like, it was all growing in a very small way. When I put it all together, it could really grow. That was one of the first things it's not the first thing. I'm not sure. It's like the 4th step or something like that.
No, it's like the first step is consolidate all your freaking accounts.
Yeah, but it took me like 6 months to do it. I had a total it could not get there. And
it is a little bit of a, I mean, I struggle with admin a lot, and it's a big admin task. It's not a fun one. We coach a lot on how unfun that, but it's so important because once it's all together, you can see it all in one place. You can make better decisions. You see it grow. Like, it's such a huge thing.
Well, I just think I mean, I don't know if I'm imagining it, but it's got to be growing better because it's a larger sum of money instead of, $5,000 here and $20,000 here. And
it's more the asset allocation, but yes, I think having it in one place is definitely it's more effective overall.
It's certainly easier for me.
Yes.
For certain.
Yes.
So, even if, I was 55, 56 when I met Gina, and became aware of Gina and Gina's program. So I think it is completely achievable. It seems like unachievable, I'm sure, if you feel like you're not going to be able to retire. But I think it is. Obviously, I would have, if I hadn't gotten married to somebody who has been saving money. Part of the reason I was stay-at-home moms, and there was no money saved for me in my retirement. I had no retirement accounts for 15 years. So that's why I started at 40.
Oh my God. Can we do a little tangent for a second? I'm really on TikTok a lot. I love TikTok. And sometimes I come across videos of women who are like, hey, I'm about to become a stay-at-home mom. Does anyone have any advice? I'm thinking about, getting pregnant. I'm thinking about quitting my job. I'm thinking about doing that full time. And every single time I'm like, get a post-nuptial agreement before you decide to quit your job and rely on your spouse. And in the post-nup, it can just say my spouse will put money into my retirement account while I'm a stay-at-home mom. And I'm like, protect yourself financially because, oh my, and there's other women who have done that and then gotten divorced and had dealt with the financial repercussions. And they're saying the same thing. And I just think it can be an awkward conversation, maybe a hard conversation, but oh my gosh, there's one video right now that's going viral of this girl. I say girl because she's 19 and she said, I'm 19 years old. I just got married. I don't have a degree. I don't have a 9-to-5. I don't plan on it. And I'm exactly where I want to be. And she's just talking about how she's very happy in her life. And I don't know, I think it's a little bit of rage bait a little bit and people are going nuts and everyone's dogpiling. And I have no comment on her life choices, but I think it's an interesting conversation. This, if you're not going to work especially a woman, as a mom, there's a lot of financial risk in that we don't talk about a lot.
Yeah. I didn't think about it. I did have some options as I was getting divorced that I walked away from because it felt like the right thing to do. I got a military retirement, which I've had to live on because wasn't making enough money. It wasn't going into my retirement. And I didn't ask my ex-husband to sell the house and take apart because my kids were living in that house part-time. And it was the only thing they knew. Yeah.
We all have to make our hard choices, but man, I always just say, especially if you're at the beginning of that journey, explore your options.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we know so much more. What I was doing in the early 90s, there weren't a lot of women who were choosing to stay home. There, I never planned on staying home ever. I planned on working, but life, becoming a mom, having a premature baby, lots of things changed my brain and made me think, oh no, this is what I want to do. So I don't think there was, I didn't have, and of course we didn't have social media or any of that. Yeah. So I didn't have anybody saying, you really should, make sure that you're going to be well taken care of if you guys aren't married anymore.
It's a big one. It's a doozy. My husband and I we both work. So there's that, but anything could change ever at any point for any reason. And we got a post-nuptial agreement. I really pushed for it because I was I started my business after we got married. And I was like, you know what? If we ever got divorced, I would really want to own my business. I really don't want to split it. And I'm happy to and we had a whole conversation and we got a post, and it was so helpful because not only did we discuss what we would want to separate, but we also discussed how we would want to manage money during our marriage. And it was such a beautiful conversation and process. Mm-hmm. And by the end, I felt like we had so much more financial clarity together, and it didn't feel adversarial or scary or lawyers fighting back and forth. And I'm like, yeah, because we're this is the best time to have these conversations while you still love each other. God forbid we would ever want to get divorced. I'm assuming that if we were to want to get divorced, we probably wouldn't like each other as much. And so this conversation would probably go a little bit differently.
I think it's more that feelings, everybody gets tenderhearted. Yeah. And it's not, it's very difficult to have those conversations then, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So, I mean, how wonderful for you guys to have explored all of that, and you kind of know where you're at financially. You probably had conversations that you might not have had otherwise.
100%. We talked about so many, we talked about property. We're renters, but we might own in the future. We talked about property. We talked about what's community property, what's not. We joke about this now in our marriage. There is a house plant that I've had since college. And I was like, the plant is mine. It's literally in the legal document. And my husband makes fun of me all the time. He's anytime we talk about, I don't know, buying something, or if I want to buy something, he's add it to the post nup. I'm that's hilarious.
I hope you're putting your
it's something that can be a little bit lighthearted too.
I guess he's not really going to want your...
I haven't put my Scaparelli. I should put it in the post nup. I really should. I should tell him.
Based on what I've heard you invested in it, maybe
I will. You know what's funny? My daughter, by the way, for everyone listening, Scaparelli is a brand that I have started collecting in the last 2 years. They're a luxury. They're akin to Chanel. So Chanel and Scaparelli started at the same time in Paris. And it's, expensive stuff, but I've started collecting it and it's been so fun. My daughter, who's 5, was like, Mommy, I want a Scaparelli bag. And I was like, oh my God, what have I done? I'm going to be so screwed. I'm going to be so screwed when she's a teenager and she can raid my closet. Anyways, I gave her the little shopping bag. I'm like, here you go. Here is a Scaparelli bag for you. It says Scaparelli on it.
In a couple of years, she's going to be like, Mommy, this is not good enough.
Anyways, I know. And I'm going to be like, you're going to have to figure that out. You're going to have to work for that. We'll talk. We'll have a whole discussion on money, and I'm looking forward to getting to teach her all about how money is created and how you can go out and get a Scaparelli bag if you would like.
She's going to be big side tangent. Okay.
That little girl, she is having the time of her life. She's with her grandparents right now in Europe. She spends summers with her grandparents, and then my mom is over there visiting them. So she's with both of her grandparents. It's so sweet. She's a good kid. She's going to be okay. Anyways, complete side tangent. We were talking about you and what you would say to that person, and just that there is hope that you can be on track or get on track.
Yeah. If you feel like you are off track or you haven't quite gotten on the track, I'd say any kind of education about, I don't think anybody knows what the right amount of money, where's the education source, or what's the right amount of money for somebody who's 50? How much should you have in retirement? What's the right, you should have this much if you think you're going to, nobody's talking about that stuff. You do talk about that. Not there's a particular number, but you talk about what kind of a lifestyle do you want to live? And we're going to reverse engineer how much money you need as a byproduct of that.
Exactly. And it's easy math. It's actually not complicated to figure out. It's just a little scary to face at the beginning. You know, Patti, I looked it up. I have to recalculate this. I looked at the average age of someone coming into 7-figure wealth. The average age is 42. We have people joining well into their 60s. So people think, I've actually had people say to me, well, I'd love to do 7-figure wealth, but I'm not 22 anymore. I'm not 25. I'm not 30. I'm like, yeah, the average age is 42. This is not a process that's just for 20-year-olds. It's easier if you're 20 from the perspective that you have more time, but it's not exclusive by any means.
No, and at least from what I hear, people don't like come like completely prepared. They have large debt, they have mindset issues, they have a mess in maybe their personal and their business stuff. That you help them kind of get guided through.
Oh yeah. No, it's the classic, right? People want to clean their house before the cleaner comes. And it's like, that's what you pay the cleaner to clean your house. Let it be dirty.
Yeah.
I'm the cleaner in this scenario.
Yeah.
So,
you are
so
for
good.
sure.
All right. Well, any final words that you want to leave our listeners with on your big milestone? And congratulations, by the way. We're so excited for you.
Thank you. No, if you're thinking of, other than, if you're thinking about, is Gina a good fit? You should just do it. Don't hesitate.
We do sales calls too. So we can actually check if you're a good fit. We can answer that question.
I'm pretty sure that you'll benefit 100%.
So good. All right, Patti. Well, where can people find you?
I'm Exhale RVA on Instagram and Exhale Myofascial Release RVA on Facebook. And that's kind of it.
We will have the links in the show notes as well so that they don't have to type it out.
Okay, good.
All right. Well, thank you for coming back and celebrating with me today, Patti. We're so excited for you. So onwards and upwards. And thank you, everybody else. We'll catch you in the next episode. Take it easy.